Welcome, you have reached review time with Imperial, and today's review will be from Season 2, Episode 7. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So this is another filler episode. They just getting by to get through the season, to prolong it. Nothing happened too much, but let's just go through the events. This episode was called Belly of the Beast. So you had starts off with Christy confirming with Fatima that she's pregnant. Christy's value to this town is very important because she's the main doctor. We all know that Mariella is a junkie, so you don't know if you could put a lot of trust that she's gonna be around or be reliable when you need her most. The creature that Boyd gave the tainted blood to was still there in the morning. So if you watch my last recap, I stated they were going to wait to see what happens in the morning, to see if the body's still there or did it disappear. The body was still there. So Boyd has the ideal. Let's take the body inside and examine it. Kenny recommends just burn the body. We don't need to invite something this evil inside. Christy wants to examine the body. She's thinking if we get some blood out of the creature, we could use that as a weapon against other creatures. Kenny doesn't think it's right, so they said, it's Christy's call. Christy wants to examine the body. They said we need to get some sheets and drag it into the post office. No, not the post office, to the wellness center. I think it's a bad idea as well because just burn it or whatever. So Donna have a discussion with the man that stabbed Ellis. I can't think of his name. I forgot what his name was. Maybe I didn't get it. Maybe I did last recap. Nevertheless, she had a discussion with him. He pretty much said he apologized, but he wasn't wrong about the people that arrived on the bus taking the food and stuff like that. The food is, of course, getting low, and the people that was there first should get first dibs. Ethan wants to visit Victor. Jim doesn't want his son to be around Victor. Thinks Victor is weird. So Tabitha was like, "Why not?" And so, cause Julie said she'd take him up there, and Tabitha said, "Why not?" So Jim pretty much told Tabitha, "Hey, we need to have a talk." So he took her outside. Pretty much told her in front of the kids, we need to be as a unit, as a family. We don't need to show like any back and forth. So Tabitha pretty much is telling Jim like, "Hey, listen, are you sure that what you even heard on the radio, that was a person and it's not a spirit being?" So Jim thinks this whole place is an experiment. So she thinks it's more spiritual. So after she walks off, Jim sees a drone in the sky being controlled by Randall. He goes to Randall pretty much. He wants to use Randall's drone to see how fly it can high with the antenna, with a satellite antenna, and get communication going again. So he takes Randall out to where his RV was. They go inside the RV, and of course, Jim is saying he still thinks this town is part of an experiment. And Randall said, well, what the main question is, if this town is part of an experiment, that means the people here are part of the experiment. They want to keep people, to keep it going. So that's gonna improve something else. Like if this is an experiment, which part of the people are in on it? So when Julie takes Ethan to see Victor, Victor really doesn't want to deal with Ethan because he's afraid all his friends end up something happening to him. But he eventually comes around and tells Ethan, because Ethan is feeling sad. He's a little kid, but Victor has the mind frame of a little kid in a sense. And then Ethan was getting sad that he was dissing him, and he said, pretty much, you know, I got a lot of work to do. You can help me. And so he ended up discovering that the leaves on the trees are falling, and then basically Ethan was saying, well, you know, ain't that normal? That's like the changing of the seasons. And he said, no, not here. When the leaves fall off the trees here, that means something bad gonna happen. So while they have the creature's body in the basement, Mariella goes through a withdrawal. Boyd has to console Christy, and then Christy has regret on taking the body to be examined. She's basically saying, maybe Kenny's right. This is something that we shouldn't be doing. So then it goes to Tabitha. Now she's looking for Jade. She goes into where the bar is. You know, that's where Jade hang out. And she questions him and said, hey, when you see me in the forest, you wasn't surprised. When you see me panicking on ground and everything. And he pretty much told her, well, you know, when your husband first seen me, I was doing the same thing. And he said his was with a soldier, a old soldier vet coming at him. And she explained that hers was kids that was evil. So on her way getting ready to leave, she seen the book that Jade got from Victor and with all the symbols. She pretty much told him, I seen these symbols down in the tunnels where all the creatures was. So that's going to spark something. And we'll see if that sparks them to say, all right, well, we need to go down there and examine some more things. So when Boyd, Christy, and Kenny try to examine the body reacts at first. And then Christy pretty much says she could have hit a nerve. Kenny storms out. He thinks it's a bad idea. Tells Christy, like, I love you. I don't want to see something happen to you or whatever. Basically saying it's not about your girlfriend, but I really care for you, so I don't want to see nothing happen to you. And he said, I can't sit there while you doing this and something bad happen. So Mariella has a bad dream. She wakes up, she sees the little musical ballerina thing turning around, spinning around, and she sees the creature wake up and come towards her, and Boyd steps in, shooting the creature. Then she wakes up. It then goes to the colonial where Fatima told Donna she's pregnant. And Fatima is alarmed because before all this, she was told that she couldn't have kids. So instead of Donna looking at it as a negative, she looked at it as that's a positive, great idea because you met the love of your life and now you're pregnant after you were told that you couldn't have kids. Basically, they need some positivity to outweigh the bad they're experiencing. So Donna's character is very standout, and she's definitely becoming a real strong character to this series. However, is she gonna make it? Normally, when they build a character up like that to be a strong character, and then something significant happens and they lose them. Hopefully, not for Donna. You know, hope you keep Donna around for a long while. Like if you're gonna have this like to be a run for years to come. You know how The Walking Dead, if those of you who do watch The Walking Dead, you got the main characters that lasted, Michonne, Rick, Daryl, Carol, Maggie. Like they lasted the test of time. You know, everybody else came along the way. Hopefully, she's one of those characters if this lasts long. So, what we got next? And then we got Christy. She freaked out when she found out that she opened the body, found out the creature had shriveled up organs and everything. Like it was like a mummy tomb or something there was no blood. So she was freaked out and she just kept stabbing it, and then she stabbed it and hit the gallbladder, and some yellow ooze came out. So they figured, hey, we can use this. Boyd was like, you know, he seen her breaking. So he's like, nah, this is a good thing. It's positive. It's something that we might use. And so they was able to get the yellow ooze out and basically say that we'll use this. Everybody pretty much said let's pack up and go home for the night. Boyd and Kenny started to talk, and Kenny was basically like, how are we going to use that against them? And Boyd pretty much said, we'll deal with that another night, or another day, or rather, and told Kenny, if you want that badge back, you're more than welcome. Kenny just looked at him pretty much saying, hey man, I'll talk to you another time. And so it goes back to Elgin and Julie. Elgin, when Julie was up there, she seen Elgin. He pretty much said, hey, I want to talk, and you got time to walk. So they walked off, and he was telling her basically what he experienced, what he saw. Of course, we know he helped Ellis get to the wellness center. He's seen what Boyd did, so he's telling Julie everything, telling her she can't tell nobody. And he's like overwhelmed with everything he's seeing. So then from there, what she tells him, what she normally does for herself, is she takes a bath and she slides down in the water and let it reach to her ears, and it calms her. So it shows Elgin at the end of the episode doing that routine, and a creature comes out of nowhere, pulls him down and smashes. First he sees the ballerina music toy thing spinning around, and then a creature comes and pulls him down in the water and tries to drown him, and it goes off. So it just could be him having a nightmare. But he was saying before time to Julie, it seems like he has a feeling that he's supposed to remember something, but he can't remember. So we'll see how that plays out. Other than that, another filler episode. I thought last episode 6 was a filler episode as well. I think it's a 10 episode series, so you still got 8, 9, and 10 for the rest of the season. So we'll see how that play out. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.